All right, so on this first section, all you're doing is deciding if it is a permutation or a combination. So remember, with permutations, we are assigning specific roles. So here, we are selecting a president and a vice president. Because they have specific roles, this is a permutation. Selecting 20 senior class representatives for a commercial. Because it is just a group, it doesn't matter what order they're in. This is a combination. Selecting winners from Montana's AQR class for the most outstanding student, most improved, and class clown. We are assigning specific awards, so this is a permutation. Selecting a 5-person committee for a Halloween Carnival. Because it's just a group of 5 people, it is a combination. Arranging letters in the word musically, because we are arranging them in a specific way, this is a permutation. This next part is just practicing plugging in the math into our calculator to make sure you know how to type it in correctly. So 6, you click math, go over to probability, and then the little exclamation or factorial. Then we do 4, over to probability, the factorial, and enter. And we get 17280. This, the C, tells us it's a combination, so you could also write this a combination of 23 people, and you are selecting 3. So you type the 23, go over to probability, and you are selecting 3 of them. So 1771. The P tells us it is a permutation, so out of 12 people, we are selecting 4. So you do 12, math, over to probability. This is a permutation, and we are selecting 4 people. So 11880. Now, the biggest thing on this one is make sure that you either enter it in as a fraction or put the denominator in parentheses. So it's 16 factorial divided by parentheses 5 factorial, 3 factorial. So we get 2.906 times 10 to the 10. A coach must choose 5 starters from a team of 16 players. How many different ways can the coach choose the starters? So because we are not assigning our starters specific roles, we're just picking a group of 5. This is going to be a combination. So out of 16 people, we are selecting a group of 5. So 16, combination 5. So there are 4, 3, 6, 8 ways that you can select the starters. You want to try a different smoothie every day from Smoothie King. You can add banana, strawberry, pineapple, kiwi, papaya, mango, raspberry, and blueberry. You can have all, some, or none of the fruit flavors. So because each of these different fruits, you have the option to either have it or not have it. You have 2 options for banana, 2 options for strawberry, 2 options for pineapple, 2 for kiwi, 2 for papaya, 2 for mango, 2 for raspberry, and 2 for blueberry. So you have 2 options 8 different times, which gives you 256 days that you could get a different smoothie. The local Cypress restaurant has a daily lunch special in which the customers may choose 1 item from each of the following groups. How many different specials are possible? So for the main course, you have 4 options. For the sides, you have 3 options. And for the bread or dessert, you have 4 options. So altogether, when you multiply those, you have 48 possibilities. But now let's say that you don't want dessert. Okay, they don't want anything sweet. Maybe they're diabetic, who knows? So they have 4 options for their main course. They have 3 options for their side. But here, they don't want tiramisu or cannoli. They just want that bread. So now they only have 2 options. When you multiply those together, you have 24 possibilities. How many ways can you arrange 6 different books on a shelf? So because we are arranging them, this is a permutation. So out of the 6 books, we are arranging all 6. And this gives you 720. You also could just do it by hand and think that for each of our 6 spots, so for this first spot, you have 6 books to choose from. Then after you've placed one, you would have 5 books. Then you would have 4 books. Then you would have 3 books. Then you'd have 2 books. And then you'd have 1 book. So assigning all of your books, really this is just 6 factorial, because it's going down, multiplying 6 times each of the decreasing numbers, which would also give you 720. There are 8 sophomores, 10 juniors, and 25 seniors in chess club. The club is to send 4 representatives to the state competition. How many different ways are there to select a group of 4 students? So if we're just picking a general group of 4, this is a combination. Now total, 8, 10, and 25 gives me 43 students, and we are selecting 4 of them. So when you type that in your calculator, you get 323,410. If the members of the club decide to send 1 sophomore, so now for that sophomore spot, there are 8 options. 1 junior, for that junior spot, there are 10 options. And then 2 seniors. So because they're just picking 2 seniors, they're not assigning them. This is a combination. So out of all 25 seniors, they are selecting 2. This gives you 300. When you multiply 8 times 10 times 300, you get 24,000 options. If the members of the club decide to send 1 sophomore, so for your sophomore spot, you've got 8 choices. Your 2 juniors, so this is a combination. Out of 10, you're selecting 2. And then 1 senior. You have 25 options for that senior. This gives you 45. So 8 times 45 times 25 gives you 9,000 options. A cabinet is composed of a president, a vice president, a secretary, and a treasurer. If 8 people are trying out for the 4 positions, how many different cabinet results are possible? So we have 8 total people, and we are assigning roles. So out of the 8 people, it is a permutation because we're assigning jobs for 1, 2, 3, 4 specific spots. This gives us 1,680 possibilities. Now, what if it's just a committee? We're not assigning specific jobs. We just have 8 total people, but now it's a combination of 4 people. This would limit us down to only 70 possibilities. A cabinet is composed of a president, a vice president, a secretary, and a treasurer. So there's 4 jobs again. 3 people are running for president. So for that 1 spot, you have 3 options. 4 people are running for vice president, so for that spot you have 4 options. 6 are running for secretary, and 3 are running for treasurer. So those are your options for each spot. So your total is 216 options. So the difference between 18 and 16 is that here you only have a certain number of people applying for 1 spot. These people only want to be president. These people only want to be vice president. These people only want to be secretary. Whereas up here, you just have 8 people total, and they don't care which spot they get. They just want to get a certain spot. An academic contest requires that teams are made up of 2 math, 2 language, and 2 science academics. So it doesn't matter. They're not a certain job within the math. It's just 2 of them. So out of the 6, we are selecting 2. Out of the 5, we are selecting 2. And then out of the 5, we are selecting 2 for the math, the language, and the science. So the total possibilities are 1,500 options for teams. In a golf tournament, each cart will have a driver and a rider. We are assigning specific spots. There are 30 total people, so it's a permutation because we're assigning. How many ways can the partners be paired in the cart? So for 1 cart, we are only selecting 2 people. So for that first specific cart, there are 870 possibilities. was wanting you to assign every single person a spot on the cards, you would have to do the 30 factorial or 30 permutation 30. How many distinct ways can you arrange the letters in Genius? So we need to see how many letters there are first. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So you take 7 factorial. We don't have any repeats, so your answer is just 5040. With amazing, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 7 letters or 7 factorial. But now our A's repeat. So we have 2 A's, so we take 2 factorial. And we get 2520. With impressive, we have 10 letters, so 10 factorial. But we have 2 I's, we have 2 S's, and we have 2 E's. So our final answer is 453,600. Make sure that when you're typing this in the calculator, you put that denominator in parentheses. This is an arrangement of numbers or digits. It's the exact same thing. We have 5 total spots, so 5 factorial. And the 1 is listed twice, so 2 factorial. So our final answer is 60. Make sure you show all of your work, and good luck on your test.